Okay. Here's tonight's question. Did any of you ever, when you were growing up, have cousins or siblings you brought interesting friends home? If so, what kind of interesting friends did they bring? I mean, we're talking strippers, we're talking drug addicts, we're talking people who are on the run. Did any of them ever bring home somebody who was genuinely, profoundly mentally ill? I'll go first. I was 12 years old. My family was gathered for the Labor Day weekend. My cousin brought his friend, whose name I shall not mention, to my grandparents' house where we were all gathered. Now, I just thought he was a regular friend. Turns out my cousin is being paid by a psychiatrist to keep this guy. He basically was Olivia and I don't know, caregiver. I did not know this. So, 10 seconds after my cousin introduces me to this guy, he walks out of the room. I'm in my grandparents' living room alone with this guy. Seems very nice. He says, "Hi, my name is name withheld. I'm a paranoid schizophrenic." I'm thinking, what? Oh my God. He said, yeah, they tell me I took apart a beach house one weekend. And then we sat down on my grandparents' sofa and waited for my cousin to come back while we talked about all kinds of things. He was one of the first people. He treated me like a genuine adult. He was never violent to me. I did see him when his schizophrenia was acting up, talking to his dead mother in a restaurant. Uh, he crouched behind my grandfather's refrigerator while eating a rasher of bacon, raw rasher of bacon, in the middle of the night. The kicker was he was Jewish, if that tells you anything. A schizophrenic Jewish guy eating a rasher of raw bacon while trying to hide behind my grandfather's refrigerator. Now, basically, I got thrown in the deep end on that. Uh, Another time, my cousin brought his fiancee, who was pregnant with someone's child, but because she had previously been a prostitute, she didn't exactly know whose child it was. Let's see. Another time, my cousin brought one of his friends, uh, whom he later reconnected with and actually ended up living with until he died. He pretty much brought any and everybody. So my education was, pretty broad early on. Uh, I remember when I was 5 years old, being in the back floorboard of my parents' car while my cousin drove it and his friend sat beside him. And we were running from the New Mexico State Police. I've lain in the back many times while they drove up and down the road, stealing Social Security checks. I guess that dates me. Basically, I met any and everybody through my cousin. So, tell me about your cousin or your siblings, friends. Who, who's the friend that introduced you to marijuana, if one exists? Who's the one who gave you your first drink? Uh, who's the one who talked honestly to you about sex? No, I'm not going to talk about that one. That's tomorrow's question. Have a good night.